and welcome all. This is Dice of Ages, presenting CrestVahllen, the Argent Flame. And we're back. I'm your not-so-humble Dungeon Master, TJ, and we're back, guys. Welcome. We had a little vacation where we did some Just Voice podcasts for the Baker's Dozen, which was kind of fun. Very, very ad hoc. But it was fun. It was good to see our friends again in person. But we're back at the table, and we should welcome back Theo to the table.
Yeah.
Yes, it's been a while. It's been a while. And we miss Theo. He's good playing a character to be determined.
You will meet shortly.
Ooh.
Maybe. I don't know.
Whenever that happens.
Yeah.
You can ask TJ. I might show up.
Might be 7 hours from now. Might be 7 minutes. We don't know.
Might show up like 10 minutes before the session ends.
Right.
Who knows?
That's what I felt last time with Safko. You've been upstairs that whole time? Oh, man.
No.
I was. Wait, you were how long were you upstairs? Like 40 minutes?
Yeah.
So sorry. I'm such a bad
First
person.
time coming to our house, too.
First time I could like stay upstairs
Hey,
and hide
just
for
sit
40
here
minutes.
by yourself.
And I'm like, I
In
think
this strange
Yeah,
house.
I think it's a good spot to come in, and then as per usual, we like kind of dragged our feet, and things happened, and we did some shenanigans, and we didn't get to the point. And I was like, guys, we have to push, and which is why I was pushing you guys, and I was pushing, and then we finally got there, and I was like, okay, come down. The poor dude was sitting up there on his phone on my couch that he's never sat in before, alone in the dark. I felt so bad. I was like, Theo could just straight up leave, and I wouldn't blame him.
Nah, I wanted to play D&D.
I know that urge is hard, right? So welcome back. So we had vacation. Noel and I went on vacation to the East Coast via our friends in New York. We spent some time there. And in true New York fashion, we did things, some fun stuff. And I think we went... So in case of you, any of you who like aren't part of big urban areas, especially like some of the East Coast urban areas, like the old cities that are still like grungy and still have the same pipes and all the underground stuff. Not like Denver and LA, which are like newer and then like the streets are wider and everything's cleaner and stuff like that, or whatever, or San Diego or San Francisco, or Chicago. Like New York is not like that. Okay, New York is not like that. The grunge is in full effect. The trash day has like mounds and walls of trash on the side, and that's kind of part of the appeal. There's all the little black dots on the sidewalk are gum. Yes, it is gum from centuries of being stuck on the sidewalk, and so it's a pastime to go urban foraging, right? Often in like trash that people throw, not in like trash bags, but just like stuff that they throw on the sidewalk to get picked up.
Random furniture.
Yeah,
right?
like furniture. People are like, it's free. I don't want it in my house anymore. I don't have room for it. And usually someone picks it up and brings it to their place, and they spray it down, and then they're done. Everything. I love doing that. I don't do it on purpose. It's just that whenever you're walking, because you walk everywhere in New York, right? So you walk on the sidewalk, you see like, oh, that's a really fucking cool, like, dinette set. Or like, that's a really cool chair. I love, look, it's a gamer chair. There's like nothing wrong with it. They're just like, they just got rid of it. There may be like a bit of stitching wrong with there. That would save me like $300. Why wouldn't I bring that home with me? Stupid stuff like that. So we're walking by this place called...
Well, it was just a Halloween
It's
store.
like this Halloween cool cosplay, emo punk cool place. It has like, they have for sale armor and all these other really cool, like legit armor and other cool cosplay stuff. And the guy was emptying out the basement, and he was emptying out a bunch of like props and like statues and standees and stuff like that. And like a big old foam zombie that was like perfect, like, must have been like a couple $100 worth of like zombie and a bunch of pieces, and like the arm, the torso, and the head wasn't even there anymore. And it was like really professionally painted. And Cam and I looked at each other and were like,
That's ours.
I want
Yep.
that. And then like
That
we
happens.
grab it, and the guys goes like, yeah, but let me just take a picture of my trash before you grab it, because all I do is post pictures of my trash on my Instagram. And we're like, okay, that's very New York. So we walking around town. Okay. Cam bought some chainmail, so he's wearing chainmail.
Yeah, I
So he's
bought
wearing
some
chainmail,
chainmail.
full chainmail, around the city in New York, carrying a zombie arm and a zombie torso, just around New York City everywhere we go. And I have 2 staves that have like snake heads on them, so I'm like stabbing it up, and he's got a zombie in chainmail. And
We went to a nice bar.
we went to a
afterwards.
nice bar. We went to a nice bar, dressed in chainmail. We sat the zombie next to us.
That's nice. Look at the zombie.
Yeah, yeah. And I think we used the zombie for one of our skits. For our D&D
You'll see.
skits.
You'll have to see.
Oh yeah, you'll have to. Yeah, well, it's up now, so go check it out.
No, not that one. Right?
Yeah, it
haven't
is.
seen it
No, the
yet.
first one's up.
Second one.
I
Second
haven't
one.
seen it. I have
I know
not
there's
seen
a
the
part one
zombie
and a
yet.
part 2.
Second one.
Is the second one the one with the wizard?
Yes.
You just gave everything
Oh well,
away.
you'll see it.
You never know by the time
Well,
this is
well, now
posted.
you have
Yeah.
to watch it to know what I'm talking about. It'll get posted sometime this week. I'm thinking around Wednesday. So, not only that, that was kind of fun. That was my story time. But we also had this shared collective fever dream at one point.
Another night.
Another night, we're in New Rochelle. We're upstate New York. We go to.
This is like 6 p.m.
This is like 5, 6 p.m. We're in, so we're upstate New York. I guess Westchester counts as upstate. Westchester, New Rochelle, and it's not far from the city. And we said, "Oh, let's go bowling tonight. Let's go bowling." And we're like, "Okay." So we find a bowling place nearby, and we go there. There's a lot of signs everywhere that say like no drinking, no this, no outside food, drinks, drugs,
Water.
like water, no outside like anything. And we're like, okay, that's a little weird. We walk in.
Blue and white awning.
Blue and white awning, blue and white graphic. Right, we walk in, place is deserted, completely empty. Nobody there, nobody at all. But like the lights are on and the TVs are running, but it's like full like Walking Dead style.
All the chairs
Nobody's
are up,
there.
and,
All
like,
the
the
chairs
bar,
are up,
everything.
but the place is open. And there's just nobody there. Like people just like pieced and just left, like apocalypse style, right?
There's
Okay,
welding like screen dividers between lanes, like as if it were, still maybe May of 2020.
Yep.
that
The
kind of
bar is
thing.
like closed, but they have a bar, right? So we went there to like drink and play bowling. But there's like 40 lanes. Nobody's there. It's open. We go in and we're like looking around. What's going on? Guy walks out from the back, from behind
Not
the
a
counter.
guy.
Not a guy. A
spaceman.
spaceman. A spaceman walks like fully in like a space out, like a NASA outfit. And a space helmet, like not a costume, a real
Are you
fucking
in
helmet.
quarantine?
Yeah, like a big old quarantine like helmet, and like the whole thing. And I'm like, okay, this is fine. Like whatever. This is weird, but okay. And there's like nobody here, and he walks out and he doesn't even look at us, and he just points at a sticky note past the divider on the thing that says name, shoe size, and we're like, okay. So we were like talking to him, and he just keeps pointing at the sign. We're like, okay, so maybe he's mute, right? So we go and we put our names down there, and then
It's cash only bar.
it's
or
cash only, by the way, and there's no ATM. Everything's very, very weird.
Weird fluorescent lighting too, just to kind
Weird
of help set
fluorescent lighting.
the
It
mood.
definitely
too.
felt like we were dreaming. So we go, we huddle up. We're like, okay, huddle up, team. What is happening? What are we gonna do? And I'm like, because I look at the bar is dark. The actual like alcohol bar is like dark, and the chairs are up. And we're like, and I walk over and I'm like, hey, is the bar open? Can we get drinks? And he looks at me and goes, and he looks down and looks at me again. And he goes like, vending machines. I was like, okay, that's great. Can we get alcohol? Is the bar open? He's like, no, just vending machines. And I was like, okay.
So not only is it only vending machines, but he didn't choose to talk earlier.
Yeah, we were like talking to him, and
Yeah.
he just chose not to say anything. I'm like, maybe he can't hear us because he's a spaceman wearing a space helmet. But it was wild. Eventually, we were like, the vibe check is off, and we split and we go to another place. We get into an Uber. We go to another place. We pull up
3
at this
miles
place.
away.
3 miles away. Same fucking blue awning. Same fucking blue
signs.
awning. Same fucking no alcohol, no food, no water, no outside anything. We're like, oh no.
Same spaceman.
It's the bowling mafia. Like there's a racket going on, and like the bowling mafia owns all the bowling places around here, and they have the same thing. We walk in, no spaceman. There's 2 people playing at like the 30 lanes that are there. Okay.
So already vibe check's a little bit better.
All right, it's a little bit better, but still vibe check off, right? So we walk in.
Music's better.
Music's better. Music's playing, which is fine. The bar is open, but none of the refrigerators work, and the bar is in like another room. Like you have to open the door and go into this room that's interior, and it's hot in there. The AC isn't working. It's hot in there. None of the refrigerators are working. They don't sell any liquor, and they have those like like festival portable cooler things, like the tall things that look like barrels that they open on one side that they fill with ice and they put stuff in there. And there's just 3 of those sitting behind the bar, and there's only 3 beers available, and they're all like different types of like Mexican lagers or cervezas, and they're like, okay, so no actual bar. You're just selling me beer from some ice thing. And he's like, we've got Presidente, we've got this, and I'm like, okay, I guess we'll take a couple beers for $6 each. And we're like, so we play one game, and we're all. We're enjoying ourselves because the music is good. Yeah, we're all enjoying ourselves because the music is, but we're all looking at each other like, is this real life? Is this really happening?
The woman working the front desk at least talked to us initially, though. So that was also like a step above where. So, yeah, we decided at one game, and then we're.
Not only that, like right behind the bowling alleys, like right behind, there's this like workshop, like with plexiglass walls that just has a monumental amount of like gears and pins and screwdrivers just everywhere. I guess it's like the maintenance room for the thing, but it's just like in full view. Like there's spotlights on it and everything. Like they're showcasing their workroom, and it's disgusting. And we're like, what is happening? We go to like get new balls to go play, right? We get because we need the right weight and everything, and. So we start bringing some balls over to our thing, and this squat.
There's no like rack for extra balls. They're just on other lanes.
And so not a spaceman, but like this troll-like man comes over, and he's like, only 6 balls allowed in a lane, and I'm like, and he wobbles like that. I'm like, okay, I'm so sorry. Like we're so sorry. We're so sorry. We're so sorry. We'll put the balls back. And we're like, well, and I'm like, so only 6 balls are allowed per lane. So we now have to play a Tetris Rubik's Cube game of like, make sure because we have to move the balls from there to our thing, and then move the balls we're not going to use to another thing, and then move those balls back to like we have to, because there's only like he says only 6 balls can be in a lane, so we have to play like what goes first, the fox or the hen or the snake or whatever that game was. We're getting him across the river, so we had to play that game before we could even play bowling. The whole thing was so surreal. We end up getting back home. All like, there's a silent moment. We're all in the car after we're playing. We all just look at each other. It was like, did that really just happen? And it was a collective fever dream. We wake up the next morning and we're still unsure that actually happened.
I only took like a picture or 2 for just photographic proof that we actually did experience that.
Am I tripping?
Right.
So
and we were sober. It wasn't
it was like I mean, we had like one Mexican lager.
Yeah.
One cerveza. It was like.
So was there a reason behind all that? Did anyone? I mean, did you guys ask like what's going on here?
We got the vibe not to ask.
Yeah, I got the vibe that it was a front for something else because it was cash only.
Yeah, yeah, they were all cash only, and like the ATMs weren't there. Like you can go down the street and across the street to the ATM, and we're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And this is like 40 minutes from downtown New York City, okay? So this was very, very odd.
So bowling alleys are the brand new hustle now, huh?
Yeah, it was like weird too. It's like the mafia bought them during COVID and they just like kept running them. We don't know what was happening. It was very weird.
I mean, you can shuffle money through, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just this wild experience, but I mean, we laughed through it all.
Weird.
It was a little concerning.
Yeah.
But
a wee bit.
Yeah. But it was a
I'm
fun
concerned. I may be high, but
I know
I'm
I'm
having
not.
a good time.
Yeah, the music was banger though. It was fun, and they had like the black lights and everything, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. So yeah, that was my story. So welcome back, hey guys. It's better that story than log letting you know this is an adult only podcast immediately. It's not even really a podcast. It's a
We'll do
vidcast.
that anyway.
Yeah, I guess it's a vodcast now, isn't it? Yeah, video on demand. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Maybe not on
Great. So let's do the thing. Welcome. Hi. Let's play a game. Let's play some D&D. Yeah, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So I have the distinct pleasure of joining me at the table and joining us at the table, Adam.
I'm Adam. I play Zemdak Flintsweeper, also known currently as Boots.
Or Gizmo.
Or Gizmo.
I had a lot of trouble fitting all of your nicknames into your stat block because I made new stat blocks and I was just fuck it. You don't have any nicknames. I can't fit them in there.
If you hear a random nickname, they're probably referring to me.
Yeah.
The Gnome Artificer on the team. famous author once said, "Invention does not come out of the void, but out of chaos." And that quote fits me very well.
It does
Yes.
indeed. Very much so. All right.
I'm Theo.
You
I
don't
will
have
be
to
playing
say. You don't have to say if you want to keep it, but you can say it.
someone you will meet soon, hopefully, because I don't want to sit upstairs for 20 minutes. 40
Never
minutes.
not gonna feel bad about that.
And I am Demetrius, and I play the Dragonborn Paladin, who's more than just a tank. Okay, I'm just a tank. Fuck it. And I owe you a number. 304.
Yay! Congrats!
Awesome.
I'm Kenton. I play Argus Firebeard, our dwarf cleric of the light. And you can't give me a riddle. What is this cold flame? It must just be your heart.
Shade.
You know, if I don't give you something that's like oh okay and like really pithy and that you like, you're gonna be so angry. So the pressure is really on for me right now. I feel like the thing that I originally had in mind is no longer good enough. So I've been over here like stressing all day this morning, being like, oh no, that's not that good.
He's going to find it, and
something
he's going to
better.
be like, really? You couldn't have just said that?
Yeah.
It just makes it more fun.
Exactly. I'm Noelle. Today I'm playing Thresheni Ankmut, the Kenrin blade dancing wizard. And, me and Lan are happy as clams and couldn't feel better with all this paper.
I remember the paper.
That
At least you have paper.
so happy.
That was my performance check coming in because now I'm proficient in it. Yeah.
I mean,
Advantage
you're
on-
practically,
You played dancing?
Yeah.
you're practically a
Advantage on
bard.
All,
Practically.
Yeah.
all performance checks from here on out. Advantage. Amazing.
All of them? Yes. Theo as a DM would be like, yes. Advantage.
I would say advantage on the next performance check
And
for
next
that.
performance, go ahead and take a DM inspiration. Great. Here we go.
I am Cody, and I play our bugbear warlock, Log.
I'm scared.
Log Jammin'. And it's almost indescribable. The wonder and excitement that comes over a young bugbear the very first time they come across a flesh book and its secrets. And of course, by flesh book, I mean Hustler magazine. They're shit in there they don't teach in school.
Did he just say
Did you
hustler?
shove that one down your throat, too?
Yes, you did.
They won't know what that is. I don't.
Hustler magazine? Hustler?
Nobody looks at
I mean,
magazines
They won't know
anymore.
what that is.
It was behind the book rack for a reason. I'm just saying.
As the resident 21-year-old, what's a Hustler magazine?
I told you.
You know what a Maxim is?
No,
Oh, okay.
I'm
You know
just
what
Playboy, Maxim.
I know.
So actually, Hustler and
worse.
Maxim are a little bit more tame compared to Playboy.
Really?
No.
Flip that
It's
around.
the other way around.
It's
I feel like
that
Maxim's pretty tame.
No,
No, Maxim is tame.
It's
Yeah,
it's
Maxim is
above
tame.
Maxim.
Maxim doesn't even
I
have
feel like, okay,
nudity.
so it goes
Yeah.
Maximum,
Hustlers.
Playboy, then Hustler.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a reason that guy got sued way back when.
Oh, okay. See, now I've never actually read Hustler, so.
Well, you can't
Thank
really
God.
read it. No.
Nothing to read. There's just pictures.
Playboy
It's
just
your
has
book.
articles. Like,
Where are all the pictures at? Great. Well, that's a lot of words. I'm not reading any of them. Okay. Well, now that we've gotten that out of the way, welcome back, everybody. Glad to be back at the table. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, I almost forgot. Yes, Kevin will not be joining us today because he is sick with the vid. So we he's listening in, hopefully, and he'll hopefully text us if he can and everything. But we will collectively be playing his character / me to continue the story forward. But hopefully, we wish him a speedy recovery and that he gets well soon. He said that every day he is feeling better, so hopefully he'll be back with us when it comes next time, and that he will be right as rain. So best wishes and get well soon to Kevin. But yes, we will soldier on nevertheless. Other than that, I think that's it. Unless anybody has anything that I'm missing, other than tissues for my nose. Great. Okay. Y'all want to play some D&D?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's see if I got this music.
I want to see
correct.
Noelle play Cole. Let's.
Oh no.
After seeing her Argus.
I only get to watch her Argus. I don't get to be here to enjoy her Argus.
Right. It's pretty much the same like timbre, just
It's very entertaining. Is what it is. You guys always make me sound so dumb. It's fun.
So, I'm so sorry. Cam was there. Cam was there when we were playing bowling,
Yes.
and he's been commenting on what we were saying. He's like, but every other lane had 6 balls, 6+ balls. I love it.
Why didn't you all just go grab the ball you want and then swap it with one
Okay,
and put
see,
it back where it
because
was?
usually what happens is, okay.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Let's play.
You know what? Because some of us like have choices. You know, sometimes I feel like a 10, sometimes I feel like a 12.
There were actually 10 balls when we got to that lane too.
Yeah,
so
there
I don't
were,
even. We
have to
that,
get off
that
this-
makes it worse. It needs 6.
You have to get rid of 4
So
extra
you have to
balls.
Yeah.
figure out where
Yeah.
they go.
Yep.
You're starting off in debt. Go ahead. All right, so here we go. I timed myself today. Hopefully this works. Hopefully this works. We will see. Okay, so lots of stuff happened last time.
Great.
While Log uses rituals of darkness and language to snag a tome bound in flesh from a dark corner of college archives, Trisheni identifies the name of the ancient elven Celendian Empire. She also finds a sylvan tome of metal bolted to the steel bookcase that begins to speak of contingencies for the ancient war. Argus finds a primeval tome of brittle stone that speaks of the primordial of earth, Grumbar, alluding to some great titanic slithering creature and vaguely identifying the monkish temples throughout CrestVahllen. Eleazar locates some information on crossbows in the child section, as well as some diagrams depicting the make of the spiked tower shields that the Razor Shield troops used during the war. Boots searches for literature on metallurgy, Boots, Gizmo, Zemdak, finding some info of ironwood and odd resilient bones from the north. Cole seeks more info on Droog and Knockbeck, but is waylaid by a class exodus and slowly translates a passage from his first edition copy he acquired in Minheim. Most of the party then swarm Trisheni for scribe duties while Boots stages a distraction in an attempt to remove the bolted metal publication. A loud, disturbing clatter fills the stacks as Conk drops a wealth of volumes and slabs, giving Zemdak a cover as he reduces the size of the hidden metal tome, snapping it from its mooring, damaging it and freeing it in the process. Boots quickly ushers the text to Trisheni before heading back to the quarry's qualm to meet up with Eleazar and Log. The party's wizard gets to work copying a plethora of data, leaving small, cartoon notes betwixt select pages, praising the glory of Poopty. Cole meets with the headmaster, Tiamir Siv, an elderly member of the Order of the Open Hoof, who passes off a secret note to him. Back at the Whispered Wall, Log struggles to absorb the odd skin tome, resorting to swallowing it in a bizarre, conventional, maybe not so conventional style. Soon after, Log is inundated with a font of forbidden knowledge about the dream realm, rituals, and devouring worlds, blowing his mind. Downstairs, the gang is spreading word about supposed stoneworm accolades, attempting to influence public opinion. Next steps are discussed in the Sky Lounge before Eleazar scopes out a new staging area for the party at the Bone and Brine, just in case the troop is under surveillance or being followed. The Silver Dragonborn has a meeting at the Hunter and Mercenary Tavern with a young dwarven man named Chiron Stoneworm, previously known as Chiron Categg, which you find out, who requests help in locating a purple worm for a price. The bard gives a rousing speech of song and loyalty, rallying Stoneworm support and lauding the recent efforts of an unnamed Stoneworm hero, leaving Pernua behind Leaving Pernua behind as an observation, the gang then sneak out of the Whispering Wall, albeit some clumsily, disguising their defenestration as a street performance. Meeting up at the Bone and Brine, the party reflect on the day's events, including Chiron and the nature of the name Kedig, before Argus sends a message to Ermgrim, receiving a bit of a standoffish reply, and is told to seek the Cold Flame. Cole passes the message written in Primordial that was given to him by the headmaster to Argus to translate, reading, "Today's villains are tomorrow's heroes." The party then set down to rest while Log has another delve in the dreamscape of madness and seas of stars, witnessing a ship fleeing from an amoeba-like black hole and hearing an inner voice. Are you happy now? The next day, Trisheni, Zemdak, and Cole head over to their master class and do some scroll work, receiving a wealth of paper and a box of ironwood, while Argus runs into Ermgrim during his search for the High Amulet of Steercrag. Now, let's get back to the action. Welcome back to CrestVahllen. A little early that time, I'm so sorry. Alright.
Kevin says he can't wait for me to hear you play.
I'll try.
No,
But we can do this as a collective. I really encourage it, guys.
Noel's never played a bard before. You played a very pluckish, charismatic rogue that one time.
I did. It was fun.
You were a
but
rum runner. What was it? Storm Genasi
Storm
rogue.
Genasi
So you
rogue.
dashed and you moved like what was
120 feet.
You moved 290 feet
Well,
and around, I think, one time. It was
Yeah,
insane.
It was great. It was wonderful.
It was
As you
absolutely
do.
insane. It was pure insanity.
It's like, I did not have silence prepared, and if I would have cast guidance on you, would have dropped my enhanced ability, so I would have enhanced ability you anyway. Just from what I've listened to.
Great. So I think we're going to. Anything I missed? Nothing. Right?
They're like,
No.
too much.
Okay. Sometimes I forget, but you can remind me. So I think we're going to drop in as with the scene with the Ermgrim's hand on your shoulder as you spin around
And smack him in the face.
Did you smack him in the face?
I was like, what's that?
Oh, yeah, he was like, "Hey,
I wanted to make sure it
it's
was something
me."
invisible, and it wasn't like, you know.
I think he said something about like, "Hey, we should talk," if I remember correctly.
And then I was like, where the hell's the cold flame?
Right, yeah. And that's where we ended it. He looks at you, and he's kind of got this like,
I wouldn't know he's invisible.
"Oh, he is invisible." That's correct. Oh no, I don't think I said he is invisible. Did I say he's invisible?
That's why I smacked him,
Oh.
because I didn't know if he was there. I just felt a hand on my shoulder.
Damn. Thank you for reminding me this thing. Because I always want to describe, they look like this, and like, no, they're invisible. I'm like, okay.
I
Well, you imagine that he looks-
I almost cast Fairy Fire when you were like a random hand tapped me
Oh,
on the
right.
shoulder. and
That's
then, like,
fair. You guys have almost been assassinated a couple times.
but I-
Some of us have.
Oh no!
Right.
Yikes. So you just kind of hear this like a bit of exasperated sigh. It's kind of replete. Your passive insight's pretty high, so it's kind of replete with this like. There's some torment in there, but there's also some like exasperation and like this, and just kind of like impatience and like there's. You can sense it's a voice in conflict or a mind in conflict. There's a lot of stuff going on, and they're trying to like organize their brain and like really. What's the word I'm looking for? Nope, it's not coming to me.
Sort through their personal
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. They're trying to compartmentalize some things, and like So you just hear him. That was probably my bad. It wasn't the best little. It's. You met with the Lord, right?
yes.
Did you see his crown?
I mean, he was too busy crying. I don't remember his crown.
I'm familiar with the stones of the Stoneworm clan.
Yeah.
The opal and the.
Yeah.
The sapphire.
So, but that would have sent me to him. Why would you? That's not.
Not necessarily. He's not the only one.
He did say that he was also the heir to Grimdamar.
Yeah.
So is it you or is it him? Or is it both?
We should talk. Let's find a more private place to do that.
You know the city better than I do.
You got it. You just feel like the hand drop from, not like drop, but like slide down from your shoulder to like the small of your back as you feel him like now behind you, and he's just kind of like pushing you in a direction.
Okay.
Just like very, very gently,
Yeah.
just kind of like guiding you. You walk away, you kind of like interweave and bob through kind of like the spiderweb like roads that are here. You find yourself going from dark alley to dark alley and ducking past things. Eventually you find yourself behind what looks like a defunct like old forge that has like, you know, fallen into disrepair, and it's old. It wasn't using the right technology. It's been updated, and rather than like it hasn't been updated, and rather than update it and like renovate the whole place, they just built it somewhere else because it would just cost too much resources. And right now it's as you walk by, you see some like a board like peer through some of the boarded up. Looks like somebody's squatting in there, and they just closely put another board down from the window, and they hear like nobody here but urchins, and he goes a little bit further in, goes down what looks like a basement stairwell, kind of like those latched
Sellers.
cellar, like those cellar door, but the doors are blown off and rotted, and there's nothing but like detritus down there. If you've ever been in like New York or one of those other like very cramped like cities, is a lot of the entrance to some brownstones or other buildings, you have to go down the stairs and under a stairwell that goes to like another apartment. It's kind of like that. So it goes down and turns to another door. So you kind of like are in that little well that's still technically on the street, but down and in, and also in an alley. So you have a little bit more privacy. And there's just a rat's nest in the corner, and it's like detritus and everything. Nobody really wants to be here. Nobody's listening. He pulls up like a half-broken crate and just kind of kicks it in your direction, and his invisibility fades, and then he gestures to you to sit down.
All right, I'll sit down.
You do so. We're gonna change this to some of the music here. His visibility fades from him as he's just leaning up against the back of the wall that's still below that stairwell, and so you can still see like in the faint glimmer of some light of the glowworms that's glancing off of a very dirty window off in the distance that is only reflecting light like in a bit of a very film noir style to the bottom of this area that doesn't really penetrate the underside under the stairwell. So his top head and his waist and like the area above his knees is still in complete darkness, but the area between like his knees and down and his greaves are lit by this very, very dim like glancing of glowworm light. And all you can see is the sparkle of the reflection of his eyes, as he is a Duragar, and he has very, very good dark vision. That the light, very, very little light, kind of like cat's eyes, you just see in the darkness, looking back at you, and you see his like kind of like not squints, but just has this very stern look. You can't really see his face too much. I mean, you have dark vision, but it's purposely the way it's silhouetted in the glare and the light. You just see the eyes. And the eyes, roll an insight check for me, actually.
13.
13. These eyes look like your mother's eyes when your father was partially mutilated, like when his arm was cut off.
Mm-hmm.
These eyes look like the eyes of Trisheni when she found out her father was being tortured. There's a deep torment in these eyes. These eyes are the eyes of Eleazar when he confronted Pernua. Ermgrim's not here right now. There's a memory of a person that he once was that has currently taken over. I told you that I was captured when I was on patrol. That's not the whole story. As a prince or preceptor, princep, however you want to call it, titles are really as cut and dry in the Durgar strongholds of Grimdarmar. I was part of, I guess, was what you would call some sort of royal family. My parents passed long ago in battle, in the war between the Underdark and the Underworld. My sister survived, though. We were very close. She was on patrol one day where I stayed to tend to the needs of the city and train people, make sure resources were done. Political shit. Logistics. Several days went by, then weeks. No word. Feared the worst until finally one day a scout near death who was part of her patrol party arrived back at Grimdarmar within an inch of their life. I almost immediately knew what had happened. Either my sister was dead, captured, or worse. And then I realized that if they could capture my sister, there's no reason why this person would be alive. So I knew that they let them live. They were a messenger for me because they had something to say. We did our best to heal them, but in the end, they completed their mission. She was being held captive by hunters, mercenaries from Steercrag. At first I thought, oh, this is some sort of truce tactic, some sort of way to try to force peace or force surrender or some sort of thing like that. And a political tactic, something which at the first, albeit probably foolishly, not that I think about it, I was, well, good, that means that they wouldn't kill their only leverage, so she's still alive. In my haste and rage and love for my sister, I almost set out immediately with my own guard to try to rescue her. And I disguised it as a patrol a regular patrol. My own security of 12 combat-hardened Durgar warriors. I searched for... Could have been several days, could have been weeks. I lost track of time. But but that was the plan. Now that and in retrospect, that was the plan, to make us tired, weak, easy to defeat, blinded by what was going on. It happened immediately, within seconds, and the moment after I realized what was happening, it was already too late. My guard of 12 lay slaughtered. Barely a sound. The only sound I heard was blood splattering on the cold stone below their feet. And then I was, not long after, subdued. I fought. But in the end, I fell to my knees. They bound my wrists with my own hair. And they had my sister.
It was them, the Dokenan Ride, that had your sister?
No, they came later. The hunters, the mercenaries. These sick, disgusting people. I wouldn't even call them people, they were monsters. I understand that war is hell, but I couldn't even... Once I realized what had happened and that they had my sister and she was still alive and they were there and they slaughtered all of my guards, I knew that it wasn't her they were after or a peace treaty they were after. It was me. It was a trap. She was the bait and I was the prize. I was the princeps. And so it occurred to me that, and it sent a chill down my spine, that they have no further use for her. So, they took a fanged tomahawk, sliced her abdomen open, disemboweled her entrails and tied them to a stalactite, then forced her to stand up and walk down the tunnel as she unraveled herself. And they made me watch as they left. I can still see the look in her eyes when she looked at me. She didn't even scream as they tore her open. I could see that she was telling me not to let them see, but I couldn't see my pain. I couldn't. I wept, I screamed, I swore that they would suffer a worse fate. Then those fabled dames of old horror showed up and took me away. thanked those bastards for their service. And I assume awarded them somehow. And I rotted in that prison that you found me in. Every day, every night, every hour I played back the look in her eyes, telling me not to let them win. She walked 29 steps. 29. And I won't rest till I kill them 29 times. So yes, their life is mine by right. The Lord, as you call him, Logren, as you call him, was there. He was part of the party. And so was that Vogel champion that we saw at the rally. He's the one that sliced open my sister. He's the one that strung her up. And this, and he pulls out this rusted fanged tomahawk that you had seen when you scried on him, or when
Shikar,
Trisheni
yeah.
Shikar went through there. He was given like the ember and the tomahawk, and he just throws it and clatters at your feet until it stops at your boot. That's what he used to do it. So when I found out he was here and he was under the name of Vogel, looks like someone pulled some strings and made them high up in the echelons of a powerful house. And knowing what I know now from our adventures about what the Dorkennen Rai and whatever this conclave can do, wouldn't surprise me in the least. But I don't care about any of that. I just want to kill each of them 29 times. You can bring people back to life, can't you?
Yes.
Teach me.
Do you have that ability?
We're both patrons of Kosuth, are we not?
Right.
Is that where you derive your power?
True.
Teach me how to commune with him better. I have always been more martial than I have been clerical. But you seem more attuned to his other gifts. So either teach me or get out of my way.
You know a lot more about his religion and where he came from and his life, or the way this was all set up. I've only learned from my family, bits and pieces, but I don't know enough about Kosuth and what he is completely about, what his goals are, what the rights are, what the Amulet does, what anything is going on. I am in the dark.
Then tell me what your family taught you so that I can revenge mine. And I'll tell you whatever you want to know.
Absolutely.
Deal.
Because if it was my sister, I would be in the same boat.
Do you think your compatriots feel the same? Would they stop me?
I convinced some of them not to. They were worried about your safety. When they tried to stop you from doing it, they were worrying about your safety. If they had this information, it probably would have been a different story.
There's the politician in me, even though I'm not much of a politician, but it's the small part of me in the back of my head that I am forcing to ignore, knows that this could start another war or exacerbate it.
Or prevent it. Depending on how it process. Who's to say that the lives you end weren't ones that were going to cause a bigger one?
You think the public will see it that way?
The public already sees Durgar as a monster.
If it were up to me, I'd let this whole city burn.
It's not up to you, it's up to Kosuth. And he said, what's his is his at the end of the day.
That damnable flame.
Who says it's not by your hand?
He gives me these powers and then tests me in these.
He kept your flame lit in that prison. It didn't get extinguished. You still have your flame. It's still burning inside you. You just needed a little help to light it again. So he sent me to help bring that air into your flame, to ignite it and alight it and set you back on your path.
He stands up from his leaning position, steps out from the shadow as his eyes finally hit the light, the beam, glancing into the cavernous stairwell. And he leans in. And with eyes that have cried for so many years, and that couldn't possibly have any moisture left in them, cry once more as a icy tear runs down his cheek, and he slowly unfolds his arms and puts his hand out to you.
I'll grab it.
And grab it. This like predator handshake, and he squeezes you hard, and you feel his hand get warm, and you understand that this is he's like using his blue flame in here, almost as if without knowing you're doing the same, like branding each other. But it doesn't hurt. And he just stares at you for a moment, and there's silence for a long moment, and you squeeze each other's arms. He says, "Together then."
Let's burn it all to hells.
Never thought I'd be avenging my sister with a dwarf.
Never thought I'd find another follower of Kosuth that understands this the way I do.
A friend, then.
Absolutely. I'll reach out and grab my coal off my belt I said, this is your right. This revenge is yours.
He grabs it, kind of fondles it for a moment, and rolls it over in his hand. Squeezes it, shoves it into his armor and his coat. If we're going to do this together, I suppose that affords us a little more options. As much as I would love to find them in their ivory tower and make it kill everybody in the way just to prove that I could, and gut them while they're sitting pretty on their throne or whatever it is they're sitting on. There might be other ways. But I must be the one to kill them. And I'll take my time.
The flame gets bigger if the fire simmers first. We might need to set little flames before the whole thing
You really
lights.
like the wordplay, don't you?
You told me that, this is a part of being more a part of Kosuth's power. You gotta talk like him.
Do I really? I mean, will it let me learn how to do the thing?
Who knows?
I'll try
Putting a
it.
soul back in a body it's a tricky business.
I'll try it. All right. Oh, right. I almost forgot. I mean, I told you to seek the cold flame because Logan isn't the only one with the sapphire.
But how the heck would I know that?
I've been watching you. You met him.
Right, but how would I know that he's not the only
No,
one with
you
it?
met the other person.
Oh. Who?
That boy you were talking to in the bar.
Yeah.
His ring. Sapphire, opal.
So he's legit.
Which means he is also default to my mercy as well. Or not mercy. The opposite.
But if he wasn't there, you can't fault him. He told me he was a Kerig. He didn't know his name. You can't blame all of Stoneworm
So they
for
end
the
my
acts of
family
him.
line and I'm not allowed to end theirs. They took everything from me. My father, my mother, my sister.
You can't blame a little child for not knowing anything of that. Who's to say that he can't rise up and make this better?
Who's to say he won't already become? Who's to say now he's a little child? Who's to say he won't later in 1, 10, 100 years?
How many things
Become
do
the
you have
worst
to
thing that's
burn
happened.
for you to feel okay?
How many things are there to burn?
The entire world. It's not going to satiate that hunger. I agree, taking down the people responsible and taking down the people that were there who did this per their choice, absolutely. But some innocent child, just because of the way he was born, that's no better than them taking out your
Barely
sister.
a child. He's seeking the rights of he's seeking to kill a worm. He's seeking his birthright.
But for what end? He's not here trying
sure
to
if I
start a
want-
fire.
I'm
Or
not sure
start.
if I want him around long enough to find out. In fact, I'm sure I don't.
You're putting him in the same boat as your sister. Just because of who he was, or who he is, who he was born, that makes him a target?
Careful, Redbeard.
Think before you talk. We don't just go and kill people. I agree killing the people who are responsible. But random innocence is not who it is. You don't burn the green tree to help alleviate the forest.
forest burns indiscriminately.
But
Whatever's in the way.
but there's a control burn to help the forest.
So you're my control.
I'm not here to control you. That's idiotic. I'm here to be here, to help you. I just don't agree with you killing innocents. If he knew about this and he was a part of this, absolutely, but he's not. From what I see, this is an innocent child that knows
Do you
nothing
truly
of
believe
anything.
that he is innocent?
Yes, but we can always find out the truth. The truth is also not always the end all be all. A truth is perspective. A truth is what is true to me or to that person.
Forgive me if I don't share your enthusiasm.
Of course you don't. I'm not asking you to. I'm asking you to satiate your desire until we know more. I'm telling you that, yes, I will help you kill these people that took out your sister in a grotesque, awful manner. And I believe all of my friends will help too.
You know what that means for you, don't you?
What?
You're gonna help me kill the Lord of Steercrag. And the champion of Vogel, who is up to trying to take his place. One of the two most prominent people in Steercrag.
The champion of Vogel is under the thumb of the Conclave. Absolutely, I'm up for killing him. Who's to say? If I find out why he... I mean, I understand why, but the political aspects of all this are not something I'm normally involved in.
Will your friends try to stop us? If it comes right down to it. In the end.
If you explain it to them first, there's only one way to find out.
And if they still don't? Will you try to stop me?
I never tried to stop you. I always tried to help you.
When the flame licks their heels and they tell you not to kill the Lord of Steercrag, whose hand will you grab?
We'll see if it comes to that. Because I don't think it will.
You can see this like inner fury burning in him, and he takes a hand and he bangs the wall and it shakes a little bit, and a bunch of rats skitter out of the rat's nest.
It's better to have allies than enemies.
Out of respect for who you are and what we are together, I'm warning you. If it comes down to it and you stand in my way,
I'm not going to stand in your way. When it comes down to it, with something that can cause me and mine an issue, for them to come after my sister, I might stand aside, but I won't stand in your way.
very well. You say we need to learn more about this innocent child. How do you suppose we do that?
I mean, we can talk to him, figure out what he knows, why he's here, how he found out about his birthright, where any of this is coming from. What is his goal? What is he trying to do? Why does he want to take power?
Why were you meeting with him?
Because one of my friends, we're trying to get money.
For what?
Plain and simple. We're poor right now.
They're offered to pay you?
Yes.
For what?
To help them take down a worm.
He's initiating the trials.
I mean, I'm assuming he's doing whatever he can think of.
He's trying to get a head start, the little bastard. I can't say it wouldn't be the perfect opportunity to kill him if it comes right down to it. If we find out that not good.
He didn't seem like he'd be that hard to kill to begin with.
Great. Makes my job easier.
I just don't think you should kill an innocent that has no clue about any of this.
Out of respect for what you have done for me and released me from prison, and what you have done for me since then, I will give you the benefit of the doubt on this one, but that makes us even. And I'm coming with you.
Of course.
And if it turns out that he's a shit, just like the rest of his line, maybe he doesn't make it back.
It's just going to make my job a lot harder with the whole conclave situation.
If he dies? How?
If he dies and the Stoneborn die and then Vogel comes and takes over, there goes my mission.
We'll kill Vogel too. Scorched earth.
Then who's going to come and help protect the breach?
I'll take over.
Then who is currently in charge of Grindamar?
Honestly, if I had it my way, I'd just burn Steelcrack to the ground and whatever. And then I'd go back to Grimdamar and kill everybody that won't listen to me until I take over there too.
Because that always works. If you just kill everyone, you're not going to rule over anyone. Being a tyrant never makes you very far. It just puts...
I don't want to rule. I want my sister back.
That's... I was going to say not possible, but who says it isn't?
What do you mean?
If I can bring someone back, who says we can't bring someone back who's been gone for a while? Eventually. You've heard stories.
Don't fuck with me, Redbeard.
Why would I? Why would I lie to you?
Are you speaking the truth?
Why would I lie to you? Why would I dangle that in front of you in your desperation?
Do you want to
That's
save
idiotic.
innocent lives? Or what you call innocence? I don't know.
Have you not known me so far? Why would I lie?
I don't trust anybody fully. You should know that.
I'm not saying that's not a good rule. I suck at it. That's why I stand aside when I'm like, yeah, sure, let him kill him.
Fine.
I'm just saying there's other paths that we might be able to find.
If you say that you could possibly bring my sister back,
Maybe one day. There's only one.
do not make me the fool here. I will trust you. And I will listen.
I'm only telling you I don't have the power now. I only have the power to bring someone back who's been dead for like a minute before their soul is completely gone.
It's still quite the feat. I still want you to teach me how to do that.
I would love to. I'm a little worried about you just kind of using it to bring people back to then kill them, to bring them back to kill them again.
Why would... That's the best way to use it. I mean, except for, the obvious use, but I mean, that's like the best way to use it. People who have tortured people for a living, it should suffer 1,000 deaths. a quick and easy death is too good for them.
It's a very expensive torture method.
Who's to say?
Well, I don't know if you're aware, but I've told you before. Sorry, you're not there. A little bird, very expensive.
It does cost 300 gold worth of diamonds.
Remember when I told you how Grimdamar is above a massive terrazine mine?
Absolutely. You
I
also
have got
don't seem like you
resources
have
to
very
spare.
much control over Grindamar at the moment.
I'll get there. One thing at a time. Revenge first.
Are you sure that's the right path? Control or revenge first? Having the power at your back. Having the ability to put more out there. What is more important? You need to play the long
She
game.
was my sister. What is more important?
You doing it right than failing. What's more important? Accomplishing your goal or failing trying?
You sound a lot like her.
She must have been smart.
We often joked about why I was in charge. Damn it, Redbeard. Do not make me regret this.
I have no reason to. You're my friend.
How much do we tell the others?
All of it. I trust them. I trust them implicitly.
Are you sure?
The bard can be kind of sketchy sometimes.
I'm not as familiar with the whole.
Trusting people?
No, the laws when it comes to that. He says he has his being and everything. The Underdark doesn't recognize the whole bardic immunity thing. It's not part of Coalition of Nations, so.
It's just his way to get his foot in the door, saying, "Hey, I'm not going to actually cause any problems."
Does he have some sort of non-disclosure thing?
I mean, he could disclose anything if he really wanted to, but yeah, no, he doesn't. There's a lot I've told him that he has not told anyone else. He cares about his story and what looks good in his story.
I need a drink. And I need to. And I want you to tell me what you can.
You too.
All right.
I'm all about having exchange of information.
Pulls out a flask and tosses it to you. Let's get started.
Let's go.
What do you want to know?
What is the current structure? I know nothing of how this whole religion is set up.
Kosuth, it's a little. So, from what the High Amulet, or at least a High Amulet, they're sometimes scattered about.
How many are there? Okay.
Nobody really knows.
Who appoints them?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
The Warship of Kosuth, which is from what the High Amulet has shared with me. The only reason why I know, as you've said, more than you, is because I've actually talked to the High Amulet. But I don't have a manual. I don't have a text or a scripture.
I found a bunch of interesting text.
Well, we'll get to that. From what the High Amulet has told me, that the worship of Kosuth goes back eons, back to when the primordials were the entities of the primordials, the embodiments of the elements: fire, water, steam, mud, earth, air, and everything in between. Ruled the material plane more than the deities did, if the deities were even involved. Then came a war known as the Dawn War, where the current pantheon of deities is gods as we know them, like Pelor and the Raven Queen and Moradin and so on and so forth, and Gond and Sylvanas, and the list goes on, vied for supremacy over the primordials. They warred with them, hunted them down, and exterminated them so that they could own the pantheon of the material realm. Now, it is said, and actually there are still signs. I mean, I know that you are familiar with the monkish temples, right?
Yes.
The orders. I mean, there are, as I have heard, they are far more in tune with the old gods and the old primordials than any of us. Their traditions are still steeped in it, and they still worship it.
Do you know any of the monkish temples that actually worship Kosuth?
No. Not specifically, no. But hold on, I'm getting there. Hold on. I have a thought. Before I forget it. They worship with impunity. After the Dawn War, worship of the primordials, as they said, they were extinct and hunted down, although now, as we know, some escaped and hid, like Kosuth, for who knows how long, biding their time, having secret cult worship, yada yada yada, that whole thing, wholly waiting for a time where they could reemerge in some sort of great emergence. Deities and creatures of celestial, godly nature get more power the more worshippers and followers and faith that are bestowed upon them, that are believed, more believers.
Yep.
So you can imagine that the systematic hunting down of followers of people that would worship the primordials or those type of elemental deities caused them to become extremely weak. That was one of the reasons why the current pantheon of deities, the gods, won the war. Rather than fighting the primordials themselves after a couple years of that, or who knows how long, they decided to instead directly fight the mortals that worship them. It's underhanded. People say that's all's fair in love and war, but if people knew what these gods did, there'd be more of us. Anyway, as the temples, these people have been here. Legend says that the people of the temples have been here since the world's conception. And they are allowed to worship whatever they want with impunity because of the respect and clout they have garnered with the world and the nations. And they are an institution, technically, diplomatically immune, highly respected. So, although I don't know of any, I've never heard of any actual temple specifically worshipping a primordial or anything like that, they're of the same ilk of the people that did. So it's more of like a tradition handed down by word of mouth kind of thing, and totems and other types of thing. Now, I fell into it. I was not born into this. I fell into it. You said you were marked or chosen or something. Yeah. I don't believe in people being chosen. I think that you saw something that other people didn't, and that allowed you a different perspective.
Then how do you explain the different flame colors?
That's another part of the lore I All I know is that there's a blue flame, there's a black flame, there's a red flame, and the white flame, because there's a story about them all being different parts of Kosuth, that he once split himself up into different parts in order to survive. The Dawn War, and that the incarnations of those kept being reincarnated into others after generation after generation after generation, and the prophecy says something along the lines of something happening. I'm not quite sure. I fell asleep. I wasn't really not the best student, but there's something going on there. Any other questions?
What else can you tell me? What's the what does the amulet do?
Well, the High Amulet is just it's like a high cleric, right? Of course, the name goes back from when they were worshipped regularly, way back, eons and eons ago. But I mean, obviously, they now have to worship in secret. And there's very, very few of them, and they're hard to find.
How do you find them?
I just can feel them when they're nearby sometimes.
Can you feel them now? Can you show me?
You sure?
I would like to be connected to my people.
Okay. Sure. You want to do this now?
Sure.
All right. A word of advice. The High Amulets are devout. I see from your hand that you have a little bit of experience in some of their worship styles.
I mean, Kosuth just told me to do this to try to rid a plague in my body, so I followed
It's
suit.
a little bit more regular for them. I'll actually, honestly, I don't really know if they feel it or not, because they don't scream. So, I'd like to think that they don't. I'd really like to think that they don't.
I mean, I can't feel this right now anyway. So it would make sense, at least after the first time.
Every High Amulet that I've come across have some sort of burning scars on their body somewhere. Some all over, some only on some places. They don't really talk about it. I don't really know.
I wonder if it's a mark that Kosuth puts on them.
Maybe. They are highly devout. They are devoted to. If they, for example, if at any moment they thought that bettering the world, or if it was Kosuth's will for them to burn themselves and a whole city block, they'd do it in a second. And whoever would survive that flame, the mantle would be passed down to the next High Amulet as one who was protected. So, it can be a lot. As I'm sure you know, it is very difficult to get to them because it is. We shouldn't. Worship of the primordials has been outlawed.
Right.
By literally the gods themselves. Not just outlawed, but by, divine law.
Well,
But
I promised Kosuth that I would worship openly.
it's kind of dumb, but okay.
And that's how I got the power to bring someone back to life.
Shit, are you serious?
Serious.
Well, fuck.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, you know what? Fuck it. Sure, whatever.
That was a part of my bargain with him, to
Yeah.
grant me that power.
I'll take the gods on. That's fine. It's fine. Yeah, fuck them.
Burn him to hells.
Well, luckily, I mean, not that I know a whole lot about this, but the institution of the divine gate,
Yeah.
the barrier that keeps because the gods used to just be able to affect the material plane, at least with the higher they might. But there was something called the divine gate. After the divine compromises, I think it was, that the gods agreed among themselves they shouldn't have full access to the material plane, and that they shouldn't be able to directly influence it, so they cut themselves off from the material plane. And can only do indirect influences and tiny little things in between the cracks. So they castrated themselves.
Does that apply to the primordials
It
too?
makes us easier for resurgence, is what it does. And it also makes it easier for us not to be,
Smoted?
or yes, or, well, not as that, but like convicted under divine law or whatever, or, drawn and quartered. But now we have to worry about material law, people. Because still there's quite a bit of a taboo. But that's about the depth of my
Okay.
knowledge of lore when it comes to that religion.
All right. Well, let me show you what I know. I'm supposed to be back in in an hour or two.
You want to go see the High Amulet now then, or do you want to show me how to...
Maybe we should wait. And I don't know, how much does the High Amulet care about my whole group coming? Is it something that should be just us?
You trying to convert your group?
No. Some of them have their own convictions.
How trustworthy are they?
Very. I trust them with my life.
How good are you convincing someone who is a devout zealot that they are trustworthy? And who has worshipped in secret for their literal entire life?
Probably not that great at convincing people.
It's up to you, man.
I don't know. I convinced you.
You know your party better than I do.
It's not about my party. It's about the High Amulet. Some of my party can be very convincing.
I will say this. If both of us, they're as trustworthy as you say, and both of us, what's the word I'm looking for? Vouch for them, being both the blue and the red flame, it carries quite a bit of weight. High Amulet might be impressed. I don't know. Might be willing to.
I mean, I think we got a lot of fires going right now. We need to tend to each one. Maybe the High Amulet's not high on that priority list.
You're really going down with the wordplay here. You just... Eyes in the fire, High Amulet, high on priority list. Goodness. Is that another deal you made with him?
Maybe that's why I was chosen.
I don't believe in that, but okay. He grabs the flask from you, takes a swig.
All right, are you coming with me back? They're
Yeah.
gonna welcome you in open arms. They were worried about you too.
I overheard some.
Yeah,
I overheard something about me being hunted.
yeah. I
What's
saw.
that about?
Well, when we met with, the douchebag that helped kill your sister, he put out a beat on you, so a patrol to try to find you.
Which one? The Lord?
Yes.
It's not surprising. Honestly, I think he's more afraid than anything. I would be too.
I wouldn't be surprised about that. He definitely has a lot of fear.
I'll come back with you, but can't do my ghost thing anymore. So I'll just I'll take a different route. Where do you want to meet?
They're hanging out at the Candy Canary right now, but they might go back to...
Send me a message.
The Bone and Brine.
What room?
The only one. What do you mean, what room? Are we staying in that one guy's room? I'll tell him where we're staying.
Okay.
I don't remember where.
He's like, all right. I'll be there in a few hours,
All right.
if not an hour.
Okay.
And
You guys were still there.
you go to like walk out, and he kind of like grabs you on the shoulder and everything. He's like, "I'm thirsting you, brother, friend."
I'm here for you.
Burn it all down.
To the hells.
And then he just kind of like backs up into the shadow and just climbs like a drain pipe and starts jumping on the roofs. All right, good scene.
Whoa.
I did get a fun fuck you from Kevin. It was,
He's like, I don't know if we trust the bard.
well, he's the one that convinced him not to do it.
Yeah, that's true.
He's the only one that technically stood in his way.
But granted, being the bard and high charisma and persuasive, like he was like, oh, this is my time to shine. Like,
No.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he did the wrong thing. I was
'Cause,
just
yeah.
saying that is going to be how Ermgrim would see him because he was the one that stopped him.
Yeah, I mean, Erngren sees in black and white right now. Either you're with me or you're against me because I don't have time for Gray. I don't have the energy for Gray. Like,
Trying to show him Gray.
yeah,
It ain't working.
he like willfully doesn't want to see it, but like you're making progress. But you know, fuck.
But you get it.
Once you get past that point, I'm like, he watched
Yeah.
what they did to his sister.
Yeah.
I mean, like, how would
couldn't
Argent feel
imagine.
if somebody that like it would
Right.
be?
That's why I was
be
like,
seeing
I
red
would
too.
be in the same boat.
Yeah.
That was, yeah.
Be like, none of your party members could fucking stop you. You'd be like, no, that's it. I'm burning the whole city to the ground.
Fireball.
How many spells? How many third
Wall
level
of
spell
fires.
slots do I have? Great. So
There's a lot of things
After
that
that
make you
tense
guys not
scene-
follow me.
we go back to, I believe everybody is at the Candy Canary, correct?
No, they're at the. They were
isn't?
still at the Bone and
Because
Brian.
I was working on my balls before.
So who's still at the Bone and Brine? I think it's Cole. You,
Yes.
Well, because
Theo,
we,
that
I
is
thought we
his
went back to the
response.
Whispering Wall.
Cole,
There's no other way to say it.
Trisheni, and
It's not
Zemdek
bad.
are at the Candy Canary
We
went over
doing
it
your
last
master
session.
classes.
Yes.
You got it. You are still.
Well, because I thought we went to the Whispering Wall because we like had.
You
food
slept at the
there.
Bone and Brine.
Right,
And
but
you
then-
went back and you snuck back into the Whispering Wall.
I thought we
don't
went back there
No,
for food.
no,
or
you guys
something.
went
We
back
kind
there.
of
and got
rushed that part.
Pernua.
Yeah, I
did-
mean, we just kind of went there to eat.
Pernua's still at the Whispering Wall, the Quarry's Wall.
Right,
She's still there
she was
because she's
doing
doing
the
surveillance. She's doing
I
observation.
thought we had
Okay.
gone back there for breakfast
Right, that's why I
to
remember.
get her.
Okay. If we didn't, I apologize. That's fine. We can retro. I rushed that beginning because I was
That's
trying to
what we
like
did.
end the session, so that's fine. We can
And
do
then
that.
you guys.
Really have no
And
consequence.
you guys went to your.
And then
lesson.
those three, yeah, Cole, Trisheni, and Zemdek went to Candy Canary to do their master class and learn stuff and get paper and do some scroll work. Eleazar, where are you?
They were just chilling.
I was just trying to figure.
Weren't you guys just chilling?
Wasn't
Yeah.
I
back
with
at
him?
the-
I think you
Wasn't
just-
I with Log?
You
I
had
wanna
your
say?
feet up on the table.
No, that was but has the day passed yet? Because we have to go back and meet with him.
It's only been like
That's
the 2
today.
hours.
Okay.
That's today. You guys slept
So
last
then,
night.
Right.
and where are you headed back to? Because where were we at? Me and you.
So,
Because-
so I think we were back at the Whispering Wall. Like I was working on my new spell,
Right.
and I think you were just kind of hanging out.
Yeah,
Right.
because yesterday was the day you said, "Oh, we'll do the master class tomorrow," and that was the same evening that you
That's
met with
right.
Kyron. So
That's right.
you guys slept. You guys went up to your room in the Whispering Wall, snuck out, went over to the Bone and Brine, met with Kyron, and then slept there.
okay.
And then they went to their master class.
Okay.
And you were just hanging out.
He went to find Ermgrim.
Okay.
And,
and
they were just
you-
hanging out there.
And
He
I
was
think you
working on
guys
his
were just
balls,
hanging out. Yeah.
and you were just hanging
So
out.
we're at the Bone and Brine.
Yeah, you were trying not to
So,
leave.
so I think we're at the Whispering.
No, you're at the Bone and Brian.
You guys are the Bone and Brine. Because.
Because like
Or wait.
like Zemdek's saying, like we went back
back
there.
Okay,
Here's the
where
deal.
do you guys want to be?
I don't fucking care.
Where
Where
do
do
you
you guys
wanna
want to be?
Where are
Be
you
where you
returning?
Log would be wherever food and alcohol is.
Both
Bone and
places.
Brine.
I was
You want
gonna-
to be the Bone and Brine? That's
You
fine.
want to be at the Bone and Brine?
That's fine. If that's where we know we're going to meet everyone later, then that.
That's
Okay,
fine. Yeah,
that's
I think
fine.
that makes sense because that way you have a presence at both locations.
Yeah.
So I believe Trisheni, Zemdak, and Cole, whatever, went to the Whispering Wall, picked up Pernua, had breakfast.
Yeah.
You guys stayed there. You went with them, but then once they got to the Candy Canary, split
just-
and said, "I'm
yeah.
gonna go find Ermgrim."
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You got it. I believe the plan is to meet back up the Bone and Brian sometime this evening because you have to talk with Kyron.
I got a little plan for him.
Do you know where they are now? The masterclass takes a while. You know that by the time you have your conversation, you imagine they're still at the Candy Canary.
Okay.
They're wrapping up.
Then I'll go back to the work,
Great.
the Bone and Brian.
You worked on your balls. You already rolled on that, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
What?
Don't worry about it. He's
You
just
gotta
trying to
let
master his
Log do
balls.
this thing.
Yeah.
And just go with the flow.
There was a whole
We love
thing
him.
last
You've seen that's why,
session.
yeah.
Okay.
Great. So,
It's all about being caught up on the ridiculousness of. You realize that if I would have walked in on Log, I would have just, Radiance of the Dawn and dispelled all the darkness and been like, why are you shoving that in your arm?
It really wouldn't have changed much of what happened
No.
other than just no one else being able to see it.
I would have been able to see it and be like, what are you doing?
But it still wouldn't have been that weird for Log.
I love that Log is just like a dumb, creepy warlock. Like dumb and lovable, but also doing weird shit.
That's
He does.
That
do
tracks.
some weird shit.
Okay, so you guys are wrapping up.
Innuendo.
We already RP'd the whole master class,
Yep.
the scroll work and everything, so there's nothing really to do there. You Argus, just for the sake of time, you arrive as they're wrapping up and they're packing their stuff up. You see Cole shoving a couple sketches of some stuff. Anything you actually see he has a sketch of Zemdek and Trisheni sitting like in those students' class, like taking notes and everything, because he was documenting the whole master class and making notes as his purview, as well as you were.
And he was wanting to learn actually to do it too.
Yes, which is why he did successfully learn how to help with the appendages, the prosthesis appendages, which is why you guys were there, because he has an intrinsic value just like Argus does, and a couple of you other to try to eventually at some point head back to Karadim and create these prostheses for the children who lost their limbs. That Argus and Cole helped
Yeah.
dismember, but that did save their lives. You guys are wrapping up. They're like, okay, thanks, teacher, bye. You see they're like walking out as you arrive at the building, and Trishani just has this big old crate of paper that she's walking out with looking happy as a clam.
skipping as you're going.
Yep.
You look like you got a lot of work to do.
I do. I'm so happy about it. It's great.
I'm gonna say, guys, she's an early riser. You guys probably got there early. It's probably like around noon now. You're meeting with Kyron around the early evening. You have several hours. You're good. You're good. I'm gonna say, yeah. I'm gonna fudge the time. Do whatever. You have a little bit of downtime. Do whatever the fuck you want before you want to meet with Kyron. Kyron doesn't have a whole lot of shit to do. So whatever you want to do, whatever you'd like to, you do whatever you like. Eleazar, is there anything specifically, or are you just chilling
I was just going to wait to
till they come back?
hear what he has to say, because there's some things that need
You
to
got
happen.
it. Cool. So you arrive. You guys, the four of you guys meet up. Where you headed back to the Bone and Brian. Pernue is with you. Yeah, everybody's heading back. Okay. Pernue and you head back. You guys all head back to the Bone and Brian. You see Kyron is there, sitting in the corner, but he's not sitting. He's kind of asleep. He's like taking an afternoon nap on the table. He's just waiting. You do see. You do see that he's not alone. There is another individual there, sitting at the same table with him. What are you doing?
I would say that I probably just arrived and am like sort of like deciding whether or not to wake him up. Like in that sort of like, ooh.
Oh, you did one of those Riker chair sit things?
Like,
It was
and then I make like a couple like raps on the table to see if he
sure.
wakes up.
Can you describe what you look like?
I am a hairless cat tabaxi. I have a number of tattoos on my body. I wear baggy pants like baggy kind of capri pants with a couple of tattoos on my legs. And
the
I
yoga
have
pants.
one massive tattoo of a rook on my chest and one massive tattoo of a scarab beetle on my back. And I have an earring, one silver hoop earring on the gay side. So
The gay side.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
the right side.
the right side.
Okay.
The gay side.
I don't think that's a thing anymore, but it definitely.
I know, but like it is.
Yeah,
It's
I think
the gay
it's
side.
because it was a thing. It's
It was a
always-
thing.
Right,
It's
yeah.
like kind of a thing.
Yeah.
It's not really a thing, but it's kind of a thing.
It's more of like out of respect now, you know.
Right.
It's like it was a thing, so everyone's like, "Lol, the gay side."
It's
Anyway,
like the tiny little pig triangle tattoo on the wrist.
Yeah.
anyway,
Theo didn't like that.
anyway, so Hika will probably just like rap his finger on the table a couple of times and just like be like, hello, hello, you up? Whatever, and just sit back.
Walk up. So you need Kyron for something?
Do you? As well?
I mean, not till tonight.
Yeah.
Boy.
Is he kind of coming around?
I mean, he hired us to help him with a worm.
Oh, he
situation.
hired me to do the same.
He said that he was waiting for some people that wouldn't show up.
Huh, interesting. Well, I did, so
That's good.
I wonder if he said the same about you. To the other people that wouldn't show up, I guess. Well, I guess I should probably try and wake him up again. I kind of like shake him a little bit more.
What's in it? Does he have anything left? Does he have like milk or anything left in his cup?
He has some milk. May not be milk anymore. It's a little warm.
Got some lumps.
It's looks a little watered down, but it's like, you know, it's his hand's still on it and everything. It looks like he is like so enthusiastic that he was waiting there and he fell asleep there and he's been there since last night and he hasn't really like
Aw.
moved.
You
Because
think he's been here since last night?
He also realized
This
that
looks like it's the same cup he was drinking last night.
Oh, buddy.
he didn't tell you when to meet him, so he's like, oh shit, well then I can't leave because they could come back at any time. So he wanted to make sure he was here when you came back. He's not very good at this.
He did seem kind of new at hiring people.
Yeah.
But he seemed to have money, so odd that he had never hired people before.
Mm,
We're all there.
based
or
off of what we
just-
know. Well, I was with you guys when we walked in.
Oh, so we're all
So
there
did you
right
kind
now?
of like peel off?
Yeah. I just saw you talking to him. Well, I was also reading your lips.
Oh,
Well, so because Eliezer and I were just hanging out there, so,
Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
didn't walk in with you, so we were just hanging out
Yeah,
there.
depends on where you guys are.
Like, well, that's what I'm asking is.
We would have come
So,
in hot.
Are you
so
down
are we
with the bar?
upstairs in the room more, or
Would you guys be in the? It's a tiny room. Would you really be hanging out in the room, or would you be down at the bar?
I mean, once
Well,
I
he
got
said
done with
it
my
was a
balls, I
food
would have gone down to the bar.
right?
Then you would see us walk in. I assume.
Probably.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. I don't know. That's fine. You guys want to be in the same place? That's fine. That's fine. I assume, Eleazar, you've been like, you're a bounty hunter. And you're an urban bounty hunter, and you're kind of on watch while Log is working, so you kind of peer out the window every once in a while, like, oh, hey, our party's here. Let's go head downstairs.
Okay,
Easy,
that's fine.
done.
So we walk downstairs, and
You see me talking to this Tabaxi.
okay, so I'll walk over the
Walk
table.
over. This silver dragonborn with clad in plate mail.
Would I have
Oh,
seen
oh,
or
right, you don't
lizard folk?
know.
weird looking lizard
Ooh,
folk?
that's a very good question.
Yeah.
So you just think this is a big white or silver kobold.
Hello.
How are you?
All right.
And so, what's going on here? And he turns and looks.
He said he was hired by Kyron too.
Oh, really? Okay. That's interesting. 'Cause
Yeah, just need some money. Just trying to help a friend out.
How do you know him?
Oh, we're not friends.
Okay.
I'm trying to help another friend out and need some money to do that. Sorry. What are all of your names?
I'm Argus Firebeard.
Argus.
Eleazar.
Theodore. Who all is here?
Oh,
I just
Everyone's
ran
here.
back downstairs after dropping off my crate.
Okay, you notice that I kind of watch you
That's what they're calling it now.
specifically, and as you like watch.
The dog and the cat.
I thought of that as
I
I was like
know.
putting your art next to each other, and I was like, ugh. Cat dog.
Sorry, just catching my breath. I'm Trish.
No.
Not really. Well, it's because I'm giddy about the paper. I'm Trisheni Ankmut. What's...
Oh, I was just wondering, are you from the Maw?
Yeah, so, kind of, yeah.
The boss?
Kind of.
Kind of?
Kind of.
Well, I am, so
Oh.
thought I'd ask.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. I want to talk more about that later, for sure.
Okay.
I would
Just
be...
thought I'd ask. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
And what's your name?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Hika.
Hika?
Okay.
How do you spell Hika?
Heka.
Okay. That's fabulous. Have you met my friend Log?
John.
John.
She
sorry.
met John.
He's
Oh.
John Log, you know.
John Log?
Well, but like
John
Locke? Log?
John Log?
Like, yeah.
Yeah, what she said.
John Log.
Yeah.
Come back here. Like that.
Cool.
And you can call me Boots.
Nice to meet you, Boots.
So, do we need to have some discussions here about us collecting the rest of our money and how all this is going to work?
Well, I mean, he's asleep. We can just take it.
Well, we could.
That's a
But,
fair
Log.
point. I'm gonna roll. I feel like, what's Hika's alignment?
I mean, I'm just saying. We know we can afford it.
Are you going to tell us anything?
Right, but then that
you
has
gonna
some
tell us anything?
complications with, maybe
Not,
getting
not
home
with
later.
not with some
et
random
cetera.
strangers.
Well, that's
here.
why I was saying, do we want to meet?
Hika would do it. I'm not opposed.
I don't think that's the right thing for us to do, is just to take his money.
I was just
You
throwing it out
clearly
there.
can afford that.
I don't know.
I'm-
Based off of what we know about him.
But we really don't know anything about him yet.
I love to see the discussion between two lawful characters. The chaotic character is like, we shouldn't do that, and the lawful character is like, that's okay, it's fine, we could steal from him.
I didn't say we could steal from him. I'm gonna say, based off of what we know and his old last name, he doesn't really have all this. This is all the money he has.
Well, even still, I was thinking it's a lot of money for somebody in his position. Where did he get it?
Right. That's why I want to
Did
find out.
anybody ask him where he got the money from?
No.
Because he didn't find out he was a stoneworm until just recently. So
So then maybe we need to.
where did all this platinum come
What
from?
would I know about?
So
his
maybe
background?
we need to sit him down.
Yeah. Did I just ask
figure out
hey,
what's
do you have
going
money?
on. Like sit him down
Good question.
in the room upstairs.
so-
I didn't prepare that spell.
I'm going to say that a
mean-
lot. It has to do a lot with. Pardon me. Give me 1 moment. I'm going to say that has a lot to do with how interested or willing Heka would be to delve into this. Heka's just like, Hika. Is Hika just be like, oh, you're offering money? Yeah, whatever. I'll do whatever you want. I don't really care what the fuck you want me to do. Or was Hika being like, okay, I need some more information. Is this something I really want to do? Like,
I think Hika's just trying to get money fast.
Okay.
Oh, we can
So
get-
then I would probably just say, hey, I need you to help me kill this creature, go into the Underdark and kill this creature. And you were like,
Fine,
sure,
whatever.
whatever.
The fuck.
Yeah. So,
Have you
Whatever.
ever fought a purple worm before?
Nope. Would I have fought a purple worm with someone? Maybe.
traveling alone
Well, I wasn't traveling alone.
down the triway. Oh, you
Like
back
going
up?
up. No. Okay.
No.
No. I fought other things.
All right.
So, Boots, what do you think we should do? Should we
You would've
sit
done-
our man down and figure out what's going on? Maybe ask a few more questions in private?
I think that'd be the smart thing to do.
Okay. So
You haven't told us any of your story yet.
Right.
I'm not
that's what
going to
we're kinda
sell.
Okay.
Like, I don't trust this random Tabasco that we just saw. Like, I just got his name. Like,
I just, like on the way back, you didn't
I would
tell
have said
us.
that. Hey, I ran into Ermgrim. We got enough to talk. We got some stuff to talk about.
Okay,
Who's going to meet us back at the Bone and Brian?
sure.
So I reach over and shake Kyron. Hey, get up.
No, warm milk, please. What?
You want
We
me
need to
heat it
talk.
up?
Oh. Is
Good
it
morning.
Oh, it's
Afternoon.
morning. Afternoon? What?
It's about noon.
What time is it?
Afternoon.
Afternoon? Okay. So
It's time
you're
to go.
early. You're
Yeah,
early.
yeah.
You want to? Where we going? Are we going now?
We're gonna go upstairs and talk real quick.
I can go now, but
Oh, okay.
based off what these fine folks have told me about purple worms, I think me alone would be a little undermatched. Do you know
Yeah.
a ton about them?
Oh, well, I just hired anybody that would take my money. I mean, the more the merrier.
Anyone will take your money.
Yeah.
So you don't know how many people would take to fight a purple worm?
We've taken one down.
Wonderful. So you're experienced.
It takes about
Yes.
6.
Give it or take.
Beautiful. Now we have 6.
Veterans. Yeah. Yeah. Thinking the
Seven.
same thing that you were thinking. I was like, gotta have
Cole's
them.
here
Right?
too.
But I mean,
The
you're.
Bard's there too.
I mean, you, as you said, obviously, from the order, so you know your shit too. So,
Was from the order.
Which order?
well,
What's my-
as long as you haven't forgotten your training.
What's my order called again?
The Temple of the Body.
I'm not from any order anymore.
Okay.
The name. I'll give you a whisper.
Whispers.
Brought to you by this beer.
It's fizzy. It's delicious.
It gets the job
And
done.
support
Right.
with that beer. This beer, gray as bait with that beer. Oh, we should talk about Malikia.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't planning on doing that.
Yeah. Okay, good.
So you were a member of an order, though.
So that means you still. We met somebody from an order one time, and they knew their stuff. So I'm assuming you
We've met-
know something.
We've met
A couple from the
Yeah.
Open Hoof.
Dude, one of those
I'm not from the
tattoos looked
open
familiar to
hoof,
me.
if that.
From
if
the
that's
tattooed
what
individual
you're
I
asking.
knew in my past.
No, I was just curious about
From the mine.
Yeah.
your order in general.
What are you asking about it?
I'm a scholar of the primordials.
Oh, would I know anything about the primordials? What do I know?
I mean, you like one of when your mentor was about. Remember, like the whole pilgrimage thing and being sent them out is one of the things that they send out people from the orders to go find out more information about the primordials.
Yeah.
Would Hika have noticed my holy symbol just hanging out
So
there?
here's the deal. There's like wealth. There's massive bubbles and wealths of information. She
Okay.
can't just say, "What do I know about primordials?" It's like saying, "Oh my god!" Like here's an encyclopedia. Have at it. It's more of I need specific questions about like what it is that you're talking about. But so like yeah, you know stuff. I think it makes more sense for you to RP it or whatever, however you want to do
Well, I
it,
just
or
didn't
like
know
ask
if-
me.
Like,
Does his
my
knowledge
holy symbol is
overlap?
hanging here.
I was
Recognizing.
answering Theo's question first.
Yeah.
And then, right. Roll a religion check for me. I'm
Religion?
gonna say at advantage.
Ooh.
Okay. Just curious. Like, I don't hide my.
12. No,
12.
13.
13. Something familiar about it, but you can't quite pinpoint it.
I can't quite put my finger on it, but looks familiar. I'm sorry.
I didn't ask you for it. I was just asking if you recognized my
No,
symbol.
I recognize it, I guess, but
I think your eyes kind of lock on it, and you're like,
I wouldn't have asked
is-
that question to you. I was just curious if you.
Oh, no, I'm like,
Yeah.
I think you see me, lock on it for a
Yeah.
second.
Have I seen
Shiny.
anybody like
Because I'm
Hika
talking
before?
about the primordials.
Tabaxi?
Well, specifically that
Hairless.
hairless tabaxi.
Yeah, they're around. I mean, the Tabaxi can be a multitude of different races of cats. There are, I don't want to say sub races, but they're kind of like divergent races of other that are like more lions and like jaguar and other type of thing that aren't necessarily Tabaxi. They're like a different thing. You have seen more of those type of people that actually come from the Lawamban region, the Lawamban Peninsula, that have made their way to the mall sometimes. As far as hairless Tabaxi, yeah, you've seen a couple of them around. They're not as common as regular, just like cat, like black cat, tabby cat, kind of Tabaxi everything. But yeah, they're around. You've seen a couple in the mall and around.
Okay,
They're more common in the mall than they are in other areas.
that makes sense.
So your order, do they just not allow hair? Is that the thing?
Oh my god.
I knew someone who had some similar tattoos once upon a time, and they were bald, hairless.
Did I get these tattoos before the order?
I'm gonna say at least one of them was received at the order.
Okay. I was hairless since the day I was born.
Oh, sorry, I don't know what that's like.
I imagine.
What do you look like
Yeah,
right now?
what do you look like?
I probably forgot that I'm in my bugbear form when I came down.
Ooh, are you bald?
Are you still a bugbear?
Yeah,
Oh, that's fine.
so I'd be bugbear right now.
Oh, I can't imagine. But
It's one of the cities where that's like, oh, whatever, man.
Look, your fur is showing.
You're in the perfect place to still be bugbear, though. You are in a mercenary tavern.
In a mercenary
In fact, there's
town.
like another fucking bugbear across the way. It's like, so.
He's a nod.
Yeah, fuck it.
And then he like mean mugs him for a second. And he's like,
what's up, homie? Yeah. Well, I guess you all seem to have something you want to talk about, and I can hang out here with our young friend.
Oh, no, we were going to talk about the job, right? That's what we were going to go talk about?
Yeah, Kyra needs to come upstairs with us.
Yeah, we just
I do?
Yes, you do.
wanted to find out more.
Is this what they call a kidnapping?
No.
And so I just grab him. Let's go.
Am I being kidnapped?
Kidnapped? You
all right.
wouldn't
Yeah,
know
that's
it.
fine. That's fine. Okay, cool. Yeah, pep talk. Yeah, we got it. I understand. We're pre-gaming.
It's not
Sure.
kidnapping.
That is
Theo.
definitely
Am I being
what
kidnapped?
pre-gaming
No.
is.
Can I leave?
No.
I love that. They're like, oh, that was from Dimension 20. Because
Yeah.
like, am I being held captive?
No.
No. Can I leave?
No.
That's exactly how it is. So I grab him, and we walk, and I'll just start walking upstairs with him.
Sure. Yeah,
And he'll
you got
be
it.
in my grasp still.
Yeah. I mean, he's like half your height, so
I know.
you got him.
Yeah.
He's kind of a scrawny dwarf, so
Aw,
Poor little guy.
twink.
yeah, you guys.
How old is he?
He's my age.
Yeah, he's your age.
Okay, cool.
That's right.
Yeah, you're like this innocent child.
Right. That's what I'm like.
But he was
Well,
pampered. Or so.
And you're also still 12 years old.
I am.
right?
I am
Or
12
something?
years older
Yeah.
because of the ghost attack. To me, he seems younger because of the way he acts.
Because you're so mature.
Exactly. I'm very wise.
You're an old soul. All right. So, oh god, that's such a double entendre. Your old soul because you're.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, this is stupid. All right. So you guys go upstairs, into your
extra
room.
souls.
You're all there. Pernua is there. She comes up. She's like, Pernua clocks you for a moment and is like, she looks like she's about to say something and then she stops herself.
Insight check.
Sure.
10.
that's
Rolled a 2. I'm mad.
you quickly get distracted. You like about to like confront her about her or something like that. Be like, whoa, wait, what was about your say? And then Kyron's like, oh, okay. So pregame, alcohol.
Yes.
It's not the best choice before going
Okay.
and fighting.
Milk, then. I'll go get some milk.
Oh, no. That's not a good choice
The
either.
Elias, you just grab him.
Yeah, no. Come and sit down. And I set him down in the chair.
Okay.
Chocolate milk
Pernua,
is
can
great
you watch
for
the door
after
for us,
fighting.
please? Can you go outside and watch the door for us?
Bananas.
She nods.
Okay.
I'll
She
send
steps
Moonchild
outside.
Thinking about potassium bag.
with her. I send
my
Moonchild
job.
with her.
What?
I send Moonchild with her.
You got it. What was Moonchild with her now?
Oh, she's Missy Powell right now.
Really have
Okay,
like
cool.
10
So
people.
just
Right.
and Pernua, like the exact opposite aesthetic.
I have a magical wolf now.
It disguises itself as Missy Pyle.
Yes.
Yeah, things are wild.
Because
Toy
it's
is still not
couple
around
of
right now, right? Or is-
Curiosities we
Because
just
I
wanted
left- I
answered,
left him with-
Sure.
if you could.
No, he's
Sure.
back.
Is this
One
an
time I left him with you, but
interrogation?
now
Am I
he's-
Okay.
under
Oh,
arrest?
he's
We just want to make
No.
sure we know who we're working for.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's fine. Well, as I said,
More
I'm
an
Kyron
interview.
Stoneworm. I used to be Kyron Carrick until I figured out my,
And
blood-
how'd you figure that out?
Well, you know how you read in books sometimes about how like, oh, they were an orphan and until someone recognized them and said, I haven't seen you in years.
Can I tell if he's lying or not? Because I'm looking at him.
Sure, you want to let me finish my sentence? Sorry, I didn't. He's like, and you know how like someone recognizes you from like Kyron, is that you? I knew you when you were a wee babe. We thought we lost you and yada 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 or something like that. So apparently somebody recognized me in where I'm from.
And that would be?
Minheim.
And who recognized you in Minheim?
A Tokran individual who shall remain unnamed because they've requested that they remain unnamed.
Let me guess. This individual who you had never met before told you who you were.
Well, obviously I must have met them before because they knew me as a child.
And gave you a bag of money. And told you to come here and kill a worm.
I'm not saying that didn't happen.
Are you aware that killing a worm and declaring yourself a stone worm will begin the official trials of leadership?
Oh, yeah, that I'm aware of. Yes, that they told me to do that. Well, they didn't tell me to do that. We talked about it. I asked, and then I thought it was a good idea.
Did they come up with it, or did you come up with it?
I think I came up with it.
And what did they say for your exact lineage too? Like, is the Lord actually your dad? Like from a long time ago? Like,
No, actually,
like
so
what's going on there?
So I'm actually from an older line. The Lord's actually new blood. The Lord was actually the current Lord was not technically actually blood related to the Stoneworm. So it was actually married into it.
And how long ago did you learn this?
A couple months ago. Took me a while to get here.
Really have a hard time trusting someone who is to remain nameless coming and telling you that you are a stoneworm, giving you a bunch of money to go throw massive havoc in this political strife.
So I think we need to know the name of who told you all this.
You draw your sword.
I absolutely do.
roll. You can roll that an insight check now. By the way, I'm so sorry. I cut you off before.
Oh no, I got it. I
I
was
believe that
just
he makes these stuff.
too excited.
I
That's
just
all.
think
you immediately insight check.
16.
16. He seems pretty on the level. Like he's.
he believes what he's saying.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like the best liar either. So, go ahead and roll an intimidation check then, as you draw your sword.
Oh my goodness, 6.
6.
Are you kidding me?
Whoa, hey now, someone's enthusiastic to get going and slay this thing. Yeah, you're gonna polish that. Why is that? Why do you? That's fine. It's a little close. Come on.
I think
Just
we.
pushes the sword away.
I think it's just.
Yeah.
So we need to know who it is that told you this.
And what kind of proof did they actually give you other than just like, hey, trust me, I've got a lot of money, trust me.
I have
you know.
these papers of blood lineage.
Can I
These
can I take a
Sure,
look?
Sure. Yeah, they had supplied me with those as well.
Can I
Because
investigate?
I talked with them for a week, maybe more. We chatted and everything, and they delved through their documents and everything, and then they were a great host. That was fantastic.
Can I
Uh-huh.
inspect the
A host,
documents?
I'm sorry?
Can I inspect, like, I'm asking the DM, can
I don't
I
know
inspect
anything.
the documents while
God
the conversation happens for the next minute just to determine if they're, like, forged or...
Sure. So
Especially
this is interesting because this is something that like the whole mastermind rogue subclass really comes into handy because they can roll insight checks on documents. Here's what I'm going to say. You can do it. You are technically a scribe, so that's the only reason why you can do it. But this is a disadvantage because this is still a written document, and you don't know anything about hereditary stuff. And you don't know anything about the authenticity of dwarven lineages or anything like that. So, but just being a scribe lets you do something.
I wouldn't have a little bit, though, because of Papa Micah, right? Just a little
Yeah, which is
taste?
why you can roll it at all.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's still a disadvantage, but you can roll it. This is it's more like you don't really know what you're looking for. You're looking for just kind of general stuff that looks fake.
Okay, and an investigation, or what would you
This is insight.
Insight?
Yeah, this is insight because this is yeah, this one's difficult.
17.
17. Wild. Okay.
Yeah,
Looks
it was-
legit.
And I look at Trishini.
I give you the nod of, like a little thumbs up.
And the other thing you get from that because you roll, I'm sorry, one second. The other thing you get to that because you roll so high is that if this is faked, someone's really fucking good.
I'm gonna
respect that.
telepath to Cole. I still vote we take his fucking money.
Does it look as old as Kyron? The paper.
Oh,
the
right,
ink?
I understand. Sure. How?
Or does
okay,
it look
I'm
like
gonna
it was
ask you a
written
question.
like 3 months ago?
I'm gonna. So that was kind of part of her insight.
Okay.
check. But I'm gonna ask you a question now, and
Yeah.
depending on how you answer is gonna depending on what's gonna happen. How would you go about determining that?
I've looked through lots of books, lots of.
So you just by looking at it,
just like,
not like
does
any-
the paper look? So if it was like a hereditary document,
Uh-huh.
it would have been made when he was born, like a birth certificate. Is it 40 years old, or is it 3 months
That's
old?
what I'm saying. Are you just by looking at it, or are you
Yeah,
like
yeah.
trying to carbon date?
Does
the
this
paper?
look like a brand new piece of paper that
That's
like
awesome.
It does not
the
look like a
ink
brand new
still
piece of paper.
smells,
Exactly, I could lick it.
or is this look like a 40-year-old piece of paper?
So I'll give you this right off the bat.
Yeah.
Just because of your passive investigation as like an artificer, it looks like old paper.
Okay.
It smells like old paper because it has that like vellum, not vellum, but like vanilla smell to it.
Yep. Okay.
You can tell.
That
Unless
was
you wanna,
more
like-
what I was working.
Yeah.
Just like an easy kind of thing. Like, is that brand
Sure.
new piece of paper
It
with
doesn't
like,
look like a brand- no.
fresh ink on it? or is
Obviously,
that,
it does
like-
not look like a
okay.
brand new piece of paper.
Okay.
No. Yeah, like unless you're trying to carbon date it or something like that.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, no.
Okay.
We need the name
The name.
of the
Kyron?
person who told you.
The person
Of the talk.
Your
of the-
Takran
Oh, my host that
Yeah.
was taking
Yeah.
care of me.
Yes, we
they
need the
told
name.
me-
We actually worked with
Made
some
promise.
Takrans when we were in Minheim just a couple.
I'm
weeks
actually
ago.
from Midheim.
We're wondering if we know.
That's nifty.
We
who
need
it
the
is
name.
that you spoke with. Maybe we're also friends with them.
I really promised that I wouldn't. I mean, plausible deniability, that whole thing, because, if...
You're saying very button words for us. That you're putting up a lot. You're putting up a lot of red flags. You're using a lot of red flag words on me here.
Why would you want to hide if everything seems legit? Like, why would he want to... Like, if you're just wanting
Well, if I'm a threat to the current institution, I could be assassinated. And if somebody finds out who told me, they could be too.
Name.
So why are you
Kyron?
wanting to come in and be a
Is he
threat
sitting
to
in the
the...
chair?
Yeah.
So why are you wanting to come in and be a threat to the institution instead of just keeping your money and living on your merry
Cast
way?
detect thoughts or not?
That's a good
Oh.
question.
That is a great question.
Probably not a bad idea.
I
think that's
was
what he asked.
inspired to seek better
Find-
things
finder.
and create a better world, and I think I can do that.
You think you have what it takes to rule this city,
Well, I don't know yet. I mean, I'm sure there's
to
things
defend
to
the
learn.
breach.
But I was a poli-sci major in school.
It's an interesting degree choice.
Don't worry
ask.
about the law.
It's a lot of papers and it's very annoying, is what it is.
So what you do?
No, mine actually has applicable uses. Sorry.
No, being a Carrig, I had,
I'm sorry,
I wasn't,
all poli-sci majors
I didn't have a
have
house
My
or a
wife is
clan
poli-sci major.
backing me up, so I had to make my own way. So I scrounged up enough money and went to college and tried to study really, really hard, and I was studying politics to hopefully enter politics at some point. And then I caught a break, realizing that hey, I have a shoe in. I do belong to a clan.
Yeah.
What do you? Sorry, go ahead.
So it's a
Oh
dream.
no, go ahead, Trishini.
So what would you change? What was your big dream about? What would you do to make the world better? Like, if you
Well, for starters, it would be great if the town wasn't always under the threat of war. Could probably figure something like that. Maybe peace could be cool.
Yeah,
Cole
how are you planning to
leans
strike?
into him.
Cole leans in.
Listen, I'm a bard. I'm an official,
Listen, I'm a bard.
politically unconnected bard. You can trust me. Just whisper the name in my ear,
Okay, somebody have his character sheet.
and
nope.
I'll tell
I
the rest of
finally
them
gets to
if it's the
roll
one,
with
if
good
it's someone we
persuasion.
know.
Yeah. Absolutely, that's a persuasion check. Somebody's got to roll for him. I don't have his character sheet.
Don't-
Well,
don't
Oh,
you
wait.
have stats?
He's on
Is he on
D&D
D&D?
Beyond.
I have
Yeah,
his
he's
stat
on-
block right here,
And persuasion
You
is
should
one of
be
the
on D&D
things. So.
Beyond.
and he's proficient in it.
Yeah, like plus.
Does he have
8 or something
expertise in it?
ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's plus 8 or something
think.
ridiculous, I think.
Well, his charisma is +5 because of charisma. Then he's proficient, which is +3s. So it's
plus
at least a
11.
+8, and I think he has expertise in it.
I don't.
That's because I think
Tell him
bards
to
get
tell
1
us.
expertise or something like that.
Pulling it up.
We have
2 seconds. Persuasion
Yeah.
+11.
+11. Somebody who wants?
That's what I thought.
This is a kind of a
Yeah.
big boy here, so
Don't
I
let
think
me roll it.
Yeah, and he did
I'm
just
gonna roll it here in front of everybody.
He did say, seriously.
he did just say Flash is bad and persuade. 11 plus 11.
18 on the die is a 29.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Spicy.
He's like, oh, right. I did learn about you guys in school. You're like some of the most trustworthy people. So, and I totally, I recognize and respect your bardic immunity and understand that, just as long as you understand the, the plausible deniability and the,
I won't speak a word of it to anyone.
right, when the, what is the word again? Non-disclosure. Right, the non-disclosure, unspoken non-disclosure agreement within the, I'm sure you, sure. Their name was something, they wanted me to call them Emmy. Emmy Tokrin.
Did you whisper it to Cole, or did he say that out loud?
Or would have Cole just used his
He's
psychic
just like
ability?
really
Cole
close.
would have used his psychic ability
Yeah.
to tell us anyways. I'm just wondering if...
Oh, like he's like, oh, his name name is? He tries to whisper, but it's
Oh.
a couple. Those
I
of you
can
with
read
high
his lips.
perception can read his lips and overhear it a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay, and 18 passive perception?
Oh,
Would hell yeah. I'd be like, cool! Emmy Talkrid! Rad!
Oh,
Sounds legit! Everyone else is looking grave. I'm like, cool. Okay.
You're like, whatever.
yeah.
You're like, why do these guys need to know who told him?
I'm like, okay, I get it. But then I'm like, okay, now we know.
Yeah.
Maybe pre-gaming isn't a bad idea, guys.
They were
Oh.
very supportive, and they were confident that I would find a band of helpful mercenaries to help me gain a foothold.
Well,
Did he give you any names of some helpful, like Seek the Silver Flame or
No, that's cryptic. That's a little odd. Why would you say that?
I don't know.
I mean,
That's-
mercenary
'cause-
groups like
'cause some
us
of these
usually
people-
have names that we're known by.
Oh, no. Just
He didn't say be on the lookout for anything, just that you would find a group of fighters.
he said destiny is in my hands, and that destiny would find me.
Amazing foresight on that man.
I thought so. I mean, look. 7 of you. Or wait,
10? No.
9.
Yes.
Yes.
Are we counting the little critters?
Maybe altogether they could be.
11.
But, sure,
We have a lot of fucking people, don't we?
we do.
And we only need 6. We're almost twice as much. We're for sure gonna win.
The 6 was
Actually, now that I'm
Generous.
thinking about it, weren't Willow and
yeah.
Revik still with us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was 9 last time, too.
So, right about the same. What were you going to ask him earlier?
No, but Pernua
Yes,
wasn't. So it was...
Pernod doesn't count.
Just hear a scowl in the hallway.
So I kind of look at everyone and I go, so, do you think we're good?
You still haven't told us your stuff yet, right?
No. All
I
you
think-
guys know is that I talked to him. Or you guys, you and Log don't know because you guys weren't with us walking back.
Right.
I think this is the reason
And
we're
you guys
here.
know everything. So I'm asking you, so are we good?
I think this is the reason we're here.
So we're gonna kick off the trials earlier than expected. We have been talking about Stoneworm and propagating that.
How do you feel about keeping the head? Are you okay with keeping that up?
The head of
What part of the worm do you need to prove
That you've taken it down.
that it was killed?
Oh,
Do you know that?
either
Did you...
a scale, one of the protrusions, or
So
or a
you
fang.
don't, you don't need the head.
Not the whole
No,
head.
how would I carry that? Aren't they huge?
Yes.
I don't.
We'll get you a sled.
I mean, that would be cool if we could bring him back. That would be. I don't know. I don't know if it's unprecedented or not, but that would be really cool.
No, it's mine.
Okay.
So
Are you going to get tools this time so you can actually do it?
Well, now that we know it takes a saw, like, yeah,
What did you use last time again?
His sword.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
We tried to clean it up as best as we could.
is that stain on my God, Log.
I almost forgot. So we're down, right? We're going today.
Yeah, you just need to give us the rest of our money.
We have a
No,
10th.
good. I pay you half up front and half
We don't know
upon
that.
Yeah.
completion.
No, I told you that we.
No, it
I
wasn't
believe
half.
I told you.
It was
I
a
paid you half
deposit.
already, didn't I?
Okay.
I paid your deposit. Yeah,
But you're
so we're
still-
good. We're good.
That's not
Pay me.
Yeah, so it wasn't half. That's not half.
I'm sorry, I misspoke.
Yeah, okay.
We have someone else who might potentially be coming with us.
Sure, the more the merrier. I
It's
was
one that actually knows how to get a hold of a worm.
He can
I
track
was
them
told
down.
to say and do an inspiring speech when everybody has arrived.
So,
Okay. Did
are you
Did-
coming with us to do this?
Emmy tell you how you're going to get a hold of how you're going to get a worm?
Destiny.
cool.
Amazing.
Did you hear what Boots said?
What? Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you coming with us?
Of course, I have to land the killing blow.
Oh, Jesus.
Did you happen to hire somebody named Destiny? Is that why you were waiting?
I was wondering. Didn't know if she brought a pole or anything.
You guys are horrible. You guys are horrible.
So we're going back to the brothel, right?
Well, I mean, if you got to find Destiny.
It's a different type of pre-gaming.
Is that who we're waiting on?
No. They're being children. That happens quite often with us.
You hear like a from like behind you guys as the latch opens on the window, and Ergrim just kind of like folds in and rolls in.
And there he is.
Why are you on the 3rd floor?
It was the
Sucks.
only room he would give us.
At 8.
Right.
That's Destiny.
Hi, Destiny.
Ermgrim just scowls.
yeah, I'm just like looks at Log.
I'm like, Log, and I go like, I'm like, he literally wants to kill and rip this guy apart. Let's not just agonize this.
But then we get his money.
You don't need to rip the guy apart to get his money.
True.
But years of training had told me that's the way to do it. Great. Erngrim's there. Should we? I got to do the speech. Should
Are you
people outside come in? So because we're all going, right?
Are you waiting for anybody else that was not in
Oh.
part of our group?
No.
Armgrim, do you have any questions for this individual?
I think.
I can fill you in with what we know.
Hey, I'll just please see this play out at this point because
So you're helping us track down the worm?
I get the vibe that he's.
You're in? What was it,
Oh,
10
me?
platinum apiece?
I mean, I already told you I was coming.
Yeah. Well,
Was
I
it
hadn't-
10 platinum apiece?
I hadn't
Yeah.
had a
Is
chance
that what
to
we
tell
agreed on?
everyone
Yeah.
yet.
Well, I gave you a deposit of 10 platinum already to reserve your group.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
How
just
much
a
did you
deposit. It
give?
wasn't half. It was a deposit.
Right, the deposit, and then I pay you upon completion of the thing.
That's fine.
How much?
Otherwise, you
did
could
I
run
get?
away.
Of course.
How much?
You know.
How much did I get for?
You got, because you had 10 members, so
Yeah,
you got
so-
one per platinum, so you got a platinum.
Okay, sweet.
He learned from you. You gotta not give
Okay,
them the whole thing up front, or they just don't show back up.
Right.
He gets up from the chair, goes over the door, knocks. Can you come in, please? Purdue opens the door and just looks at him, and then looks at Eleazar. Okay. Missy Pyle just walks inside. Okay, now everybody's here. Okay, everybody form an arc. Just, a nice little arc. That's right.
It's
Okay.
probably a cramped room. We're
Go
all
ahead.
just
Just, if there's not room, just double up. The short people in front, that way the people in back can see. And he climbs up on the chair and stands up. He's like, "Well, so thank you all for being here to help me pursue destiny. I'm sure that all of you are the best at what you do, and that we'll all triumph in the end. And as I was told to say, I'm here just in case."
You have to give the death blow, correct?
Yes, but that's a
What type of skills and weapons do you have? You have to be able to actually hit the purple worm.
To give
Yeah.
the death blow.
To,
Yeah, I can borrow something from you, right? You have like a dagger or a short sword.
What are you good at using?
Have you trained in something?
Pens, paper.
Are you a magic user?
No,
Okay.
I can.
Have you ever hurt anyone with your words?
I make a mean gumbo.
Do you know what the
Or
rest
you
of the
poison
trials are?
someone.
You can't poison a worm. They're immune to
I could
poison.
make a really
Oh,
bad
never
gumbo
mind.
to poison somebody.
That won't work on this
I have some
one.
ipecac.
That
I mean, that might help with the purple worm, but that's a different part
Okay.
of things.
If it swallows you, use that.
Swallows
Yes.
me.
yes. It happens.
Oh,
Do you know at all what you're getting into?
not really. I mean, I know that they're like they'll just kill people that they come across, and they're huge. So I'm terrified to my very core, but I know that destiny is more important than fear.
Do you understand how big huge is? In this case?
15 feet by 15 feet.
By how long? I pull out one of the tablets
Oh.
as a scale.
Goodness.
This was a small one. And one scale.
Wow.
So just perspective.
A little piddle. Yeah. Oh my
I,
goodness.
I don't know how you're gonna do the killing blow.
Okay. You said it could swallow me, right?
Yes.
Can you like hold it down and I can stab its mouth?
No.
Okay. Well,
We can kill it, and then you can stab it when it's dead.
Gotta go, right? I mean, like we've got to like travel there, so we could probably walk and talk. Maybe figure out a plan.
Let's just go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I give him my old
Don't
spear.
thing.
Oh,
You're gonna want
this is tall.
Yeah. Hope you
Okay.
can throw it.
Throw. This is like 3 times the size of my walking stick. Okay.
Hey, what about your blasting glove?
And I look at you and look at him. What about it?
No, look at you. It's
One way. That's better than teaching him how to use a crossbow.
To him.
Okay, let's just go.
We don't,
please.
you know.
This guy. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Are we ready?
Is there anything else that we need in town before we go?
Everyone's potioned up.
I mean, I wasn't expecting to leave until later this evening, but if you guys want to go early, that's fine. What's all
What,
the
does
paper
anyone need
for?
anything?
What is the paper not for?
Paper is life.
I understand. Are you writing a novel?
No.
Tax law?
Of sorts.
No.
Paper
More
airplanes.
like-
Forging birth documents? I mean,
Scrolls you could give him.
Forging.
what?
That
No.
might be a good idea. Yeah.
That's
Actually,
illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's.
It was a
Okay.
joke.
Can you read something in case obviously you can use pen and paper, right? I mean.
Yeah, I'm fluent in 8 different languages.
well, that's
Which
great.
ones?
Abyssal, Infernal, Dwarvish, Common, Orcish, Giant, Celestial, and what was that last one? Oh boy,
I'm gonna call him a nerd in Abyssal.
that's not very nice.
But it's accurate.
Sure. And I think the last one was, if I'm not, Gnomish.
Okay, so you can read a paper. You can use a scroll if you need to get out of jail.
We still have no one who can speak Elvish. Okay.
I could make a decent crack at it.
Nope. Common and Novish.
Nice. It's always helpful. We have one main language of
I mean,
the
I'm a
continent that
very-
none of us know.
Talented linguist. I'm sure if I had some documentation, it could take me a couple days, but I could become a layman's at it.
I'm gonna call him a fucking kumquat in Primordial.
Primordial. That's fun sound effects you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, right. I'm an idiot. I was supposed to do this in every language. And he goes through each one of his languages and says what it is that he was supposed to say in his. And he says the last part of it was like, "I'm here just in case. I'm here just in case. I'm here just in case," in all 8 different languages.
Each time he says that, he gives a couple of claps.
Yeah.
Just for support.
I'm gonna thaumaturge you some fart noises while he's in the middle of his speech.
Oh, pardon me. Excuse me. Oh, goodness.
Just cause
Just-
I'm fine
I'm
with the
here
first
just-
one, but
Ooh.
like, dude, this is dumb.
That milk.
Is he saying, "Oh, pardon me" in the languages, or is he
Yeah,
saying
he's
them
for
in
sure
common?
doing because like he does that thing where he forgets to switch languages, like when you're in like a mode.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And again,
this is
if
so
I were
fun.
to, because he's not a spellcaster, right? So if I were to give him a scroll, he could still try to read it and then roll to see if it works. Is that how?
We'll find out. He can read it, probably. We'll find out. There's only one way to find out.
You
Really.
gave what's her name a scroll, and she is not a spellcaster.
Yeah, she just broke the tablet, and yeah.
and find out. There's only one way to find out. All right. Having said that, I think this is where we're going to take our break. If you guys watch this episode, I can head over to the next episode. And stay safe out there. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.